but a bad moment to scratch my nose. But hello, welcome to the video. What I'm going to do today is carry on with the Hurricane. We have 3 big jobs to do. Okay, the first one is the tail wheel, which is completely grey at the moment. There's nothing on it at all. We need to grey that up. The second bit is a second yellow coat for the nose cone, for the prop spinner. And the big job is we're going to give it a coating of matte varnish. For all this, I have got the cleaned out palette. I have something to show you the next time we've done some major amount of painting. I'll make a separate video about this, but it's how I clean and keep my palettes looking roughly good. Now, these palettes are used heavily. In a build, I will start at a point and I will go around. And one thing I will do as well is while I'm doing the painting, I will mark down the number of the paint in a very soft pencil and then just wipe it off later. So it's good to keep that going. If it's a self-mixed paint as well, I keep it in one of the holes and then leave it there forever. So the first things first, we need a very fine brush and we need the black. So let's just shape the black. I might need some extra light in it. It's good light right now. Just let it settle. I always take the lids off too soon after you've shook them. While it's doing that, I'll shape the yellow. For the yellow, that brush for the yellow. These brushes are going to be for putting on the acrylic. It's a Vallejo, however you say that, matte varnish, 70.520. So it gives me a matte finish, and that's to seal all the work I've done so far before I start adding decals and start adding the lights and any other bits and bobs. I'll give it 2 good coats, which we'll do live on camera, because they take seconds to dry, well, minutes to dry. They don't take long at all. So this is why I like, another reason I like aquacolor. So let's load up the paintbrush and take off the excess. I'm doing it all black first because in doing it all black first, I can then highlight the rails. So top side of the tyre, underside of the tyre, scoop round, scoop the top round. And I'm letting the bristles do the work. I'm letting the bristles just carry the paint into position. I'm not particularly putting any pressure on here. So there we go. The black layer is on. That's the neighbour. If anybody's been keeping up with my blog, you'll see I posted about there being some bad neighbours. They're the bad ones. So. Do you know what? Where is my other jar? Nothing like a planned video, is it, folks? Let's have a look. Ah, can't see it for looking. That's that one. That's fine. So we'll let that dry and we'll do the nose comb, for which somebody came in trying to be helpful to tidy up. They've mixed all my stuff about. Just take a piece of blue tack and we'll push it into the nose cone like so, and then push another brush on it, and then I've got the nose cone ready to paint and held on. So here's the yellow. Let's load the brush up, and I'm going to try and paint from the point of the nose back to the bottom so that it gives it a natural direction of wind travel look. There we go. So I'm happier that's got a better coat on it. Sit it there. Push that one. These are all little tiny jobs. That's the thing. That's the challenge. You've got to be patient enough to do some of these little tiny jobs. So the next one is a bit of dry brushing. And for dry brushing, you need to have something to literally empty the brush on. I've got a piece of cardboard, so that's all you need. Let it stand. I've got sand as well, and I thought about adding some highlights, but I think that comes under weathering, so we'll skip that. While we just give that 2 seconds to settle. This is how the Vallejo paints come. They come with a dropper type top, so turning it over, nothing will actually come out unless you squeeze. It's actually quite useful. We've got a pipette as well to help dilute it down. We will do 50-50 water to Vallejo. I don't use the aqua colour mix with the Vallejo stuff. Don't ever do that. So this black is fine. Let's now put a touch of highlighting aluminium along that bottom. Let me get the excess off here. It's very, very metallic, as you can see. And I'm just going to let it run along this edge, like so. Why aluminium? Well, because I looked at some pictures, some reference pictures, and saw that this was definitely a metallic item on the aircraft. It was just heavily covered in grease. I presume because it had some sort of bogey dolly suspension, but I wasn't certain. So I'll leave that. It's just a tiny bit of colour, tiny bit of detail just to add it on. It's probably the worst part of this model at present. So the nose cone is already pretty much dry, touch dry already. Let's think about doing the tyres then. So I have this lovely dark earth colour. What I want is to take some of this onto a brush. Down to nearly nothing, and then run it such that the tyre picks it up. That's it. It's a subtle, really, really subtle effect. So this is the wife telling me she's on her way home. So what we'll do is we will hurry up with a layer of the Vallejo. So I've shook it earlier. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drops. That's probably going to do one side of the aircraft. What I'll do is I'll hold on to one wing, do the other side, and then I'll let that dry, and then I'll hold the other side. So we'll do at least one while we're here. Need a pipette, clean water, 50-50, just mix in a moment. And this is how we'll start to put it on, and I'll put it on in the direction of the airflow last. You probably hardly tell, but I can see. It's like a sealing, protecting layer. And it literally will form a plastic acrylic layer. I'm just missing that tail wheel, as you could guess. literally soaked everything up now. That's all those 6 drops already on the model. So what I'll do is I'll just work it around the panel lines, work it into the detail. We'll work it around the propeller, because I want the propeller sealed before I put the nose cone on. You can hear drilling. It's the annoying neighbour again. There we go, we're getting there. There's a little bit of excess in these gun ports here. So I'm just taking that excess out. Just like that. The undercarriage, because I will work more on the undercarriage. I'm just missing the area that I've added that effect to, that dirt effect. The underside of this wing, you actually get half of this wing first coated, and that's it. So I'll just turn it round, and we'll just take the rest of it into this wing and the underside of that wing. That's the first coat. It will need, I think this will need 3 coats like that. It's literally a tiny, tiny, gentle haze. I can see it's damp, I can see it's wet. I'm just making sure that all the panel lines are clear of it, making sure that the casing exit points are clear of it, and that's it. That needs to stand for at least an hour. Okay, so we're at the 12-minute mark on this video. This is a short, sharp shrift video. I'm probably done with those colours. I will leave this all here, and we will pick up in an hour when I've had the wife come home. And if you are enjoying this, let me know. If you're someone I know, let me know as well, because I've had a couple of messages from people saying you've seen these videos. There will be more interesting stuff coming along. Short, sharp videos, not those long, rambling ones we had. See you later.